Welcome back to Paigeforge. Today we are going to be going over our themes. So this is going to be a really nice short little video. We are going to go over the theme manager. So one of the coolest parts about Paigeforge, in my personal opinion, is the fact that you can not only change Paigeforge, which is this view here, but you can actually change the look and feel of VS Code itself, which is really cool. So right now we are on Violet Hour Alt, which is one that I created. So what we're going to do, let's say that, so these are my themes that I created myself. These are the presets that will come built in. So we have Gamekeeper, Violet Hour, Conservative. So let's actually show you those. This is Parchment. Oh my God, that looks so yellow now because I've been on the pink. And there is a light and dark of all of these. We have Inkwell, light, dark, kind of a chocolatey. Conservatory, which has nice greens. We have Violet Hour, which I personally like as the dark mode, but you also have a light mode for Violet Hour. Gamekeeper, which is green and orange, and again, light and dark. And then these are the ones I created, which is like a nice minty with a maroon. Pink Dream, which is blue and kind of coral, so that's not really well named, that's on me. And then we have Violet Hour Alt. So let's create a new one based on, let's base it on Parchment, shall we? Okay, so we're not going to name it Parchment, we're going to name it Library, because I'm so creative this morning. Library. Colors. So I don't really like this. Let's see. What color do I... Maybe, you know what? Actually, we're going to name this Lust. Because we're going to say that this is our dark romance theme. Because I do this. I'm crazy like this. Is I will do a different color for different books because I like the vibe. So like a different color for different books so that it evokes like a different emotion while I'm working on it. Anybody else do this? Is it just me? So I'm going to have this be our dark romance. So I've got this bright cherry red. Actually, you know what? I'm going to have this be dark and this be bright. Just because of where the accents and buttons are. And you will see this too. I don't know if you just saw that. If it's a certain color, it switches the text so that there's proper contrast, which is really nice. So I'm going to go there, and I'm going to go just a little bit more cherry red. I think I like that. And then you can preview the dark as well. So this has got this nice little spooky energy to it, I think. And actually, let's see, can we go... Maybe, I'm trying to see if there's maybe like even better. Do I want to maybe do purple? Because I kind of like that. Maybe we'll go there and go back to light, and you will see it just automatically updates so that you have colors in proper contrast so that you're not blind and you can actually see what you need to see. Now you can see we have light mode, dark mode, so you don't have to save them separately, by the way. As you can see here, there is actually a light and dark mode over here in the toggle. So you don't need to save them separately. It saves as one. And then there's a display font. So we've got some different options. So down here, we have all of the Lunasico options that are bundled. And then we have our top ones. So you might want a classier look here. So we have a couple different options for the display font, and you can see it changing right here if you're wondering where it changes. And newsreader is default. And then reading font, we really only have a couple recommended because you don't want to be struggling to read your prose. So those are our options here. And we will be, I think I will be adding some sans serif because these are all serif fonts right now. And then let's see. So we're doing, this was Lust. So maybe that's kind of a fun one. Maybe this is a gothic romance. It was supposed to be monster romance. That feels monstery to me. So we're going to go Twilight Haze for that. And then you can have a pattern or no pattern, and you can add your own. It just needs to be a PNG file. So in other words, there needs to be no background on these. And you can see right here that it adds it in the background. And you can scale it down, and you can make it really obvious or only lightly obvious. I like a nice subtle hint. And maybe this is, yeah, I think the crows make the most sense here. Okay. And then this just shows you the contrast check. I can't talk. So I'm going to save my theme. So now Lust is an option. And now you can export the theme file if you want to like share this theme with somebody else that has VS Code. You can reset to Parchment or you can apply to VS Code. So we're going to apply to VS Code and boom, all of VS Code changes, including the terminal, including our chat area, and you can just close out after that. And you will see everything is now themed. These are taking a while because those were not opened yet. Now everything is themed to Lust. So the entire window, it's not just Paigeforge. So I personally thought that that was really cool. And I'm actually using this to theme VS Code when I'm working just in general now, because I thought that was one of the coolest things, is that it could apply to the entire application. And it's just another one of those things that makes it feel a little bit more unified and a little bit more like you're working in a writing application, not just in VS Code. So that is the quick overview on your themes. And now themes will be one of your options from here. And you can always change the themes from here, or you can also change it over here. And again, if you wanted dark mode, you can switch there. And then if you wanted dark mode, so that's actually a good thing to talk about. So let's just switch to library view. If I go dark mode, that dark mode is only going to apply to Paigeforge if I select it from here. However, if I come back to themes and we now have this on dark, and I apply to VS Code, then it will apply the dark mode to everything, not just Paigeforge. So that's just a quick note. If you want to switch from light to dark, if you just want to change Paigeforge, you can do it from here. Otherwise, you have to come over here under dark mode and then hit apply to VS Code again. So just a little note there. All right. And I will see you in the next one, where we will be going over... what will we be going over? We'll be going over pen names and the editing tools in the next one. Okay, see you there.